Welcome to Bold Voices, a production of the Community Foundation of Broward, where we explore Broward's biggest issues, get to know some of the people and organizations creating a bold impact in our community, and take a deeper dive into the world of local philanthropy with the experts at the Community Foundation of Broward. And now it's time to be bold.
Thank you for joining us on Bold Voices, a production of the Community Foundation of Broward. I'm your host, Ellen Jaffe. There are connections between Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital and the Community Foundation of Broward that run very, very deep, along with the Memorial Health System, of which Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital is part. For a number of years now, at least one Community Foundation board member has also spent time as a board member of Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital Foundation. And we're going to talk more about that connection in just a little bit. But I want first to let you get to know about the ongoing innovations and someone who has a lot to do with why these innovations are happening at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital that have made it stand out among pediatric hospitals. It is my pleasure to welcome Caitlin Stella, the CEO of Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. Welcome to Bold Voices.
I'm so happy to be here, Ellen. Thank you for the invitation.
You are such a bright light. Does that have anything to do with working around children and seeing them being made better and healthier?
It certainly does. Many people who know me will say maybe there's a part of me that's still a child myself, so I relate to them in a lot of ways. But yes, I think it does keep us young at heart to be around them.
Now that you have this new 8-story building, and we need to talk about that because $166 million went into that, and that could not have been done without philanthropy.
Absolutely. And the $166 million, the 4-story build.
Yeah, that didn't just come out of your budget.
No. And the Community Foundation of Broward supported quite a bit of that. So I think there were like between about 15 different funds.
15 dedicated funds that all wanted to give to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. And I was looking more into the background and the relationship between the Community Foundation of Broward, Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, and Memorial Health System, and they've been supporting you for 30 years. You get grants every single year for a number of different things.
And we're so grateful because those are the things that insurance doesn't pay for or that we wouldn't be able to really afford just operationally because they're extras. I'm using quotes in the air. They're extras, but to me, they're really not extras because to be able to have a staff of people that can explain to a child what's happening to them and have the child come up with their own coping mechanisms, that's not an extra in healthcare for children. That is a must.
And that's what sets you apart. Undoubtedly, that is part of the reason that Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital has been awarded, Best Children's Hospital by Forbes year after year after year. Your physicians, your cardiac doctors.
We're nationally ranked in some of our services. Our orthopedics program is one of the largest in the country, and that includes sports medicine and also orthopedic surgery. We actually do athletic training support for Broward County School District, several counties in Palm Beach, several schools in Palm Beach. So we have a very large footprint in terms of where our services are. We have offices in not only Broward County and in multiple places. We have offices in Palm Beach and Boca and in Wellington.
Right.
We're building these large specialty centers. Our model right now is to really consolidate them because a lot of kids go to a specialist, but they don't just go to one. So you have to be able to take your child to one location and just see everybody. And then those people are talking to each other. So if I'm going to change a medication, what is that going to do to this? So we've got, neurology and endocrinology and all these different services in the same location. So we have a very large center in, obviously, Hollywood's our main location.
Yes.
And then we're building and opening a beautiful one this fall in Miramar, which has a ton of kids and a lot of kids that come up from Miami-Dade. It's actually on the campus of Memorial Miramar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we built a women's and children's pavilion, an ambulatory surgery center. We're able to do imaging for children there. They're these big, beautiful centers. We have locations, and I hate to say it this way, but tentacles all over because the kids come to us through school, through those athletic training programs. They get injured in sports. And we do those free EKG screenings. So for the cardiac services, we have a huge cardiac program. Oncology is a big program for us. The neonatal program.
Yeah, the NICU is so well known.
It's the biggest NICU in the region. We have 3 NICUs, actually. The main one at Joe DiMaggio is a level 4, which is meaning you can do neonatal surgery. And then level 3 at Miramar and West. So we have 3 NICUs. And it's like, I call it our neonatal hospital, because if you add up all those beds, it's the size of a hospital. And then we have an affiliation with Boston Children's Hospital, which allows us to have something called the Center for Complex Care, which is really like a home base for children that do have these complex diagnoses and have multiple specialists. So a lot of those NICU babies that are discharged with long-term issues, they go straight from the NICU to the Center for Complex Care, and it's continuity. And they can help orchestrate and kind of quarterback all those specialty visits until they're able to be transitioned. Or sometimes they'll have a pediatrician in the community that's doing the basic well care, and then we're doing more of the specialty care for them. But
you go out into the community with mobile treatment centers and
we do
bring physicians to the people. And that's one of the things that the Community Foundation so values, and probably one of the reasons you get grants from them.
Well, we thank you for that.
And that they love you is because equity and access is so important. And we do have populations here in Broward County that don't have the access they need. So by you going into the community, how do you work that? How do you decide where you're going, when you're going, and spread the word about it?
Well, I would say it's part of the foundational DNA of Memorial Healthcare System. It's a public health system that's had a long history of community support, community access. It's our job to be out there and managing the health of the community, so we take it very seriously. It's really evolved over the years. I mean, I was amazed when I got here, the depth and the breadth of the services actually available in the community, whether that's for moms that are in high-risk areas, even high-risk pregnancies, mommy and me kind of classes. There's a lot of education. We have mental health interventional programs for youth. I mean, it's so it's major. And is there enough? Probably not, but we're doing our part, and we're really trying to bolster what we're doing. Right. Because we're doing it well.
And that's, again, where philanthropy can help you do that.
And Community Foundation of Broward is always so open. Like, I've had many conversations with folks here about, hey, I have this idea, and they are like, oh, yeah, we could definitely make that pitch to this fund. So that's why that combination of the 15 different funds is so key, because some of them support education. So we can route those to our education programs. Joe D has a school inside. We have a full-time school.
Yes, Mr. so the
George.
Kids don't fall back.
Correct. So we can draw a line between a fund and the foundation and something we're doing, and then be able to sort of access support that way. And one thing that we're very grateful for is the support for our Child Life program and our clown therapy program.
Lotsy Dotsy.
Yes, because we have the one and only
yes,
Lotsy Dotsy. She's our CFO, our Chief Fun Officer. That's what we call her.
And she now has her own TV show that the kids can watch.
Well, yeah, so we have something called Joe D TV.
Right.
So you can sit in your room and watch the morning show, and you can play video games for sure in your room, but you can also participate in game shows, and you can win prizes.
Right, that blew my mind. They can be in the middle of getting a transfusion or an infusion, and hey, I know that answer.
Yeah, they can. We almost have like a Bob Ross kind of show where you can paint along, like we deliver the supplies to your room. A lot of the kids come up to the zone now. The zone, the Garth Brooks Teammates for Kids Child Life Zone has become like what I call the heart of the hospital. Like, what happens in the morning in the hospital is rounding, and the physicians are kind of out there, and the teams are out there checking on the kids to see if they can go home or what the plan for the day is. Once they kind of know their plan, if they're going to be at the hospital for the rest of the day, they come up to the zone, and it's like a cruise ship. There's a whole list of activities to choose from. So they can participate in art therapy, music activities. Maybe there's a visitor. We had some of the Miami Dolphins there. They get different things going on, so it's something to look forward to. Maybe there's some kind of entertainment show, or if there's the game show that day. We have all kinds of things going on for them. We're lucky, too. Again, Philanthropy Conine Clubhouse, the Conines, Jeff and Cindy, have been funding the clubhouse for like 25 years or something. And 100% free, and it's a hotel, so you have your own room, shower. We have different organizations that donate food and other things, so families can just go over there and
they can
take
be there
a breath.
Where their kids are,
correct,
but still get away from
you
a
are
minute.
Literally connected to the hospital, but just go take a shower, have a dinner, feel normal, make some phone calls, and then go back over into the hospital. Right. But the rooms themselves were designed by our families. So when you go into them, and I usually, when I tour people, I kind of explain there's like two different zones. There's the zone for the child, and then there's the zone for a parent. And then the clinical stuff is very much like toward the door. So the family has space in the back for privacy, and everyone has a private bathroom. Everybody has a window. The parents have a double bed that they can sleep in. Because we want families by the bedside. We want siblings there. We want extended family there, because kids do better when their world is around them.
Now, you were in California for 20 years before. What was it that brought you here to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital? I mean, I know obviously you love everything about it, but before you came here, what perked your ears and said, oh, that's the place I want to be, and I'm going to move across the country for it?
Well, one is that my husband is from here. Originally born and raised in Fort Lauderdale. So that helped that it was a familiar place. But really the reason was that in the children's hospital world, everyone knows Joe DiMaggio because of the logo and Lotzi. So I remember when I got the call about the job, I said, that cannot be the place that has the full-time clown, because nobody has the full-time clown. Everyone wants something like that, but for an institution to have one for so long, I thought I have to go check this place out.
I think she's been there for like 20 years.
No, like 40. Oh, I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. And she's getting she's getting an award, and it is just the best gift, because she's an angel. Everyone says, oh, you have a clown. I'm like, she is much more than a clown. I don't really, even me personally, I don't like clowns. She doesn't even like clowns, which was actually good for her, because she made herself like the most friendly, warm, and loving, approachable clown there is, because she herself does not like a traditional entertainment clown. It like freaks her out, freaks me out too.
Yeah, and she obviously has the empathy with the kids.
She's got a heart of gold. Yeah. She's like an earth angel. But what I learned in my process of studying the job and coming and meeting with people and like really understanding the culture is, I always say, like, there's a little bit of Lotzi inside of everybody at Joe DiMaggio. She set the tone that, like, it's not just about, oh, I come in and I blow bubbles and I play a harmonic and I distract you. Everybody's doing that. So she set the bar. So we have physicians that break out the guitar and sing to the little baby who's alone in the ICU. And we have dance parties, and we all dress up for different holidays, and we have amazing team spirit. Like, we have something we call Catch the Fun calendar, which is like Music Monday, Teamwork Tuesday, Wacky Sock or Wacky Wednesday. So you wear wacky socks, wacky headband, tie-dye Thursday, and then Fun for You Friday. So everybody gets into it. So Lotzi created the environment where it was okay to play. It didn't have to be a stuffy hospital. That's the secret sauce. Because so people, when they come to us, they're like, how did you do it? I'm like, it's not me. It's all of us. First of all, that environment was created over many, many years of that culture being built and supported from Memorial, because all the hospitals are really like that in terms of providing an environment for healing and whatever's appropriate. For us, it just happens to be riding around on tricycles. But Lotzi,
I can see why people stay with you for years and years and years, and why you would move cross country.
Well, and that's where I was like, I would really like to go somewhere in my career where they're going to let me build the kind of place that I would want to go. You know, there were a lot of places I worked that were great institutions, but they still felt like hospitals. And I just wanted to create a place that was so good that you didn't want to leave.
And it feels like for the employees that they don't even feel like employees, because they're having just as much fun.
That's true.
When you got here, were you surprised to find out just how much charity comes to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital and the community foundation's connections with JDCH and Memorial?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that question, because it was mind-blowing. Really, because having come from Los Angeles, where there are a lot of resources and there are a lot of people with resources, it's not the same spirit of it's our place to take care of. It's just such a massive city. It's hard to feel ownership at that level. Most people take care of their small little subsets, their little village, you know. Here, it was totally the opposite. Like, I got here, and not only were there people that had resources, but they were willing to give, willing to support. There are so many interconnected, intertwined relationships that I've grown to cherish and respect deeply, of all the different entities and people and foundations donations and corporate giving that allows us to do what we do. So I just think it's so special. Like, this is the kind of city where solving public health problems is possible because people care and they're willing to get behind you if you need it. For example, I came to the Community Foundation of Broward and gave a presentation about behavioral and mental health. And I just said, like, we're crisis mode. This is a crisis. And you can't just point to one thing. It's not just COVID. It's not just social media. There's so much more at play here. But we've got to figure out why emergency department visits for mental health issues and Baker acting has gone up 350%. I mean, that's not normal. That's not okay. And this is the kind of city where by putting in some creative solutions and programs and getting upstream to support kids before they're in crisis, this is the kind of place we can do it because people care and people will get behind those ideas. So that's what I love most about this town. That's the surprise that came with the
connections.
Yeah,
there's a tremendous connection and a tremendous amount of heart. When you made that presentation, what was the response from the Community Foundation?
What do you need? You know, put an idea on the table, put some plans on the table. They've funded a lot. They have already, and we have some other things in motion we're talking to them about that'll also kind of build on gifts they've given in the past. There's more to come.
And then when you talked about all of the different aspects of the hospital, you covered so many different interests that you've put in place for the children's benefit. I can see how funds that are dedicated toward arts and culture. Well, you're giving the kids arts and culture. Education, you're giving them schooling. So that's why they've got 15 funds that all wanted to donate to building that new 400,000 square foot.
Well, and that's what I always tell people when I tour donors or host them or meet them. I say, tell me what you're interested in and what you're passionate about, and I'll draw a line to something because there's something.
Right.
You know, whether you're passionate about a particular diagnosis, you know, some families and some foundations are about a diagnosis. Some are about things like art. You know, our art program is about to go to a new level. I'll kind of pitch it out there while I'm talking. So we have art therapy. And we do a lot with the kids around arts and culture. So we do like theatrical performances that come in and using dance and different kinds of things for therapy, for rehab, for mobility, for ambulation, because that's what kids do. That's more fun than getting up and doing exercise. It's more fun to get the therapy dog to tug with you, you know, and Lottie's great for a good, she likes to do the electric slide and stuff, right? So anyway, but what we're trying to do is bring art into the hospital. So we have all of these local art collectors and artists, and I would really love to make the Children's Hospital almost like a gallery of the different populations that love the Children's Hospital too.
If you could make a request for a bequest, something that you would love to have funded, what would it be? I mean, you've got all of these new advances you're talking about. You're already state of the art with your technology, but you have to keep up with everything new that's coming along.
Do I have to pick one?
No.
Okay.
Name a bunch.
I'll give you a
top
few.
5.
Okay, so I'll give you a few. So one is very practical, which is just purely a population dynamic. There are more kids here with the influx of population moving to South Florida. We actually are one of the few places in the country that don't have a declining birth rate. Most places have a declining birth rate. Ours is pretty flat, but we're still growing as a population. So in general, I know Joe DiMaggio has to grow. So I'm already kind of planning ahead for, what's going to be next? And really, it probably has to do with another emergency department that's probably triple the size, to be honest with you, and has very unique pods within it. So we do need to have a crisis intervention area. We do need to have a behavioral health, evaluation area. And we probably need to have that so that the emergency services set up for the right number of kids in the community. We're just bursting right now. We also need a bigger psychiatric unit. That's absolutely going to have to happen. And I think in different levels, we've talked about a model actually with the Community Foundation at the table about a model where the hospital does have psychiatric inpatient beds. We need at least double what we have. But what the community needs even more than that is a place you go before you come to the hospital. So we've talked about more like a crisis kind of urgent care kind of assessment network, like things that we can get to kids before they all just have to end up in the hospital in the emergency department Baker Act.
And maybe prevent
yes,
this early detection.
Correct.
Is the key.
Correct.
Right.
So, and a lot of that has to do with working with schools, working with pediatricians. Like we've got a lot of that stuff in motion to be able to pitch to the foundation and other donors and other supporters. So that's another kind of ask around. That particular public health issue is the one that is just so major that as we talk about a new emergency model, that has to be factored in. The other kinds of things that I would love to be able to continue to support are things like the enrichment programs. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that in tough fiscal years, people look at and say, oh, do we really need that program? And I want to
philanthropy.
Well, that's why I want to endow
right.
it. I want to endow it so that when I'm long gone, those services live on and continue to grow. I feel that passionately about it. It's not just a department in the hospital that's additive. It's necessary. That's how we communicate with children. They communicate their way. We need to have those tools there.
If someone knows someone or has a child who needs care, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, jdch.com website, jdch.com is the way to reach us. The Kids Sierras is accessible right on the website. We have something called Lotsy Botsy. So she's our little chat bot. So you can chat there and you can put anything in there and we can help you. And then Kids Sierras is able to be contacted if there's a special request or need or just information. And then our foundation can be contacted through jdch.com/give.
Okay. Caitlin Stella, thank you so much. I have so enjoyed this time with you. And the only way I can think of to close out Bold Voices today is with your catchphrase, love lives here.
I'm giving you my secret handshake to heart. Thank you for having me.
As we know, it would not be a full episode of Bold Voices for the Community Foundation of Broward County without hearing from Kirk Engelhart, VP of Marketing and Communications and the true founder of Bold Voices. Kirk, welcome.
Ellen, it's always a thrill to be here. And I loved that conversation. Caitlin is just one of a kind, outstanding. And I think there's a whole lot for our community to be proud of with what she and the entire team are doing over there at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital.
They're breaking new ground all the time. And I have to tell you, we talked for so long. I couldn't include everything in the episode.
Well, I have an idea. How about bonus material? We do a smaller second episode with all of the rest of the conversation that wasn't in this one.
I could do that because happily we record everything.
Beautiful.
But more importantly, having been around for 40 years, you're celebrating with gifts to the community.
So, Ellen, it's our 40th anniversary. Foundation has had an impact in this community. So we thought, wow, how can we celebrate? And really what came to mind is let's do something that creates impact, something that is consistent with our mission, something that's actually going to help people. And we'll get the nonprofits in the community energized about partnering with us and being part of our celebration, but in a way that actually helps and makes our community even better. So we came up with the 40 for 40 Spread the Love grants. We have $400,000 that we've set aside to help 40 nonprofits make a bold impact across our community and invest in projects and initiatives that make life better for people. So all of the details are on our website. But what's exciting about this is that it really is a way for us on our 40th anniversary to say thank you to the community by giving back. Putting our money where our mouth is, walking the walk, doing what we tell people they should be doing all the time. And we're out there using philanthropy to make a difference.
And I think what's really special about it, the fact that you're having an anniversary that celebrates the people you're already helping and invites new people to be celebrated, absolutely speaks to what the Community Foundation of Broward is all about.
That is exactly what we were thinking, Ellen, that it's consistent with the mission. It's consistent with who we are and what we do and what we've been doing for 40 years. So what nonprofits out there need to know is that all the criteria for qualification and submitting an application, it's all on our website at cfbroward.org. But those applications have to be in by July 25th. It's a quick turnaround for these. So if you're hearing this episode and it's after July 25th, have no fear. We accept grant applications on a rolling basis throughout the entire year. So just come to the website, cfbroward.org, and you can find out how you may fit in to one of the grant cycles.
This is very exciting. It's a wonderful opportunity for people. I urge them to go to the website, cfbroward.org, and that July 25th deadline is very important. So do that. And remember, we'll have a little bonus material from Caitlin Stella from Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital right here at Bold Voices.
Thank you for listening to Bold Voices. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and hope you'll be inspired to join us in creating a better Broward for all. If you'd like more information, visit us online at cfbroward.org. And remember to always be bold.